Look at any airport in the world. Gates full. Runways busy. Dozens of planes lined up. And almost all of them are the same color. Not silver. Not gray. Not the airline's brand color. You've seen it thousands of times and never thought about it. But this isn't a coincidence. It isn't a tradition. And it definitely isn't about aesthetics. There are 4 precise, calculated reasons why the aviation industry chose white, and every single one of them comes down to survival, money, or safety. Let's start with the one that surprises people the most. A commercial airplane cruising at 35,000 feet is exposed to direct, unfiltered sunlight for hours at a time. The sun at that altitude is brutal. There's no atmosphere to absorb it. No clouds to block it. Just raw solar radiation hitting the fuselage continuously. Dark colors absorb heat. White reflects it. A black plane sitting on a tarmac on a hot day can reach internal temperatures high enough to damage cargo, compromise electronics, and stress the structural materials of the aircraft itself. White paint keeps the fuselage significantly cooler, reducing thermal stress on the airframe, protecting sensitive equipment, and lowering the energy needed to cool the cabin. Over thousands of flight hours, that difference isn't minor. It's enormous. Now the financial reason. And this one is bigger than most people expect. A full paint job on a commercial aircraft costs between $150,000 and $200,000. Not because the paint is expensive, because of what painting a plane actually requires. The plane has to be taken completely out of service, disassembled in parts. Every surface sanded, cleaned, primed, and repainted by hand. A process that takes up to 2 weeks and requires a team of specialists working around the clock. White paint is cheaper to produce and easier to apply evenly than any other color. But the real saving comes from weight. A single coat of paint on a large commercial aircraft adds between 500 and 1,000 pounds to the total weight. That extra weight burns more fuel on every single flight. White requires fewer coats to achieve full coverage than darker colors. Less paint, less weight, less fuel burned. Every day. For the entire lifespan of the aircraft. For an airline operating hundreds of planes, that difference adds up to millions of dollars per year. The third reason is safety, and this one directly affects your life every time you board a flight. White makes damage visible. Cracks, dents, oil leaks, hydraulic fluid stains, metal fatigue, bird strike damage. On a white fuselage, all of these show up clearly during a ground inspection. On a dark or heavily patterned surface, minor damage can go unnoticed until it becomes a serious structural problem. Aviation maintenance crews inspect every plane before and after every flight. White gives them the clearest possible surface to work with. There's also a secondary safety reason that most people never consider. In the event of a crash, investigators need to locate debris across large, often remote areas. Dense forests, open ocean, mountainous terrain. White debris is significantly easier to spot from the air than any other color. That detail was considered when aviation standards were developed. It wasn't an accident. The fourth reason is about time, specifically, resale value. Commercial aircraft are not owned by airlines forever. They are sold, leased, transferred between carriers, and repurposed across decades. A plane that starts its life with United Airlines might end up flying for a regional carrier in Southeast Asia 15 years later. A white plane is a neutral plane. It can be repainted with any airline's livery quickly and affordably. A plane that was originally deep blue or dark red requires extensive stripping and priming before a new color can be applied, adding significant cost and time to every transaction. White keeps the plane's options open. It preserves resale value. It reduces transition costs. It makes the aircraft more flexible as an asset. So the next time you walk through an airport and look out at the tarmac, all those white planes lined up in perfect rows, you'll see something different. Not a design choice, not a tradition. A system engineered across decades to reduce heat, cut costs, maximize safety, and preserve value. Every single element calculated. Every detail intentional. The most ordinary things are almost always the most carefully designed. You just have to know where to look. If this changed the way you see something you walk past every day without noticing, this channel exists exactly for that. Hit like. It takes 1 second and helps this reach more people who never stop to ask why. And subscribe, because the next video reveals the hidden reason behind something else you encounter constantly. Something so familiar you've completely stopped seeing it. See you there.